Hi, my name is Leonard Munson, and welcome back to the monthly astrological crystal overview for March 2019 for the sign of Gemini. You can reach me on my website, which is readingsbyleonardtmunson.net, or my email address, which is mercury524@msn.com, on my Facebook page, Readings by Leonard T. Munson, and I'm also available on Twitter and LinkedIn. Now, you know the rule. Click, like, subscribe, and share. This is the overall view for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, rising on Venus. Okay? Some of you will resonate with you and some of you will not. Take what you need. Some of you don't need all of it. Some of you need part of it. Okay? We also will take donations if you care to give any at this time. Okay, Gemini, your solar sun is in your 10th house while the sun is in Pisces. The 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is the 10th house of employment, success, and moving up the ladder. It deals with government, corporations, and industries and that behind. It deals with business. So your mind is more on business, improving your business, and advancing it. And it also deals with your career. So you're more in tune now to look at different changes or structures that you want to change in your business. And that has to be to go back to school for additional training or to go and do some research and get some information. Okay? Some of you Geminis have been through a rough period here in the last 8 or 9 months, and things are beginning to unravel. And they're beginning to move forward. Some of you are moving to a smaller location, or some of you moving to a bigger location, improvements. I see improvements here for you. Some of you are downsizing, getting the burden of maybe owning a home and don't want to go through all that mess of taking care of the grass and all this crazy, or the neighborhood that you're in is changing and you know it's time for you to get out. So I don't see some of you buying another house. I see some of you might rent an apartment or a townhouse for a year and see exactly what you want to do. But I feel that some of you have been weighed down with a lot of burden of wanting it all for you and give you more freedom. And this is going to be an influx of money for some of you. And, you know, save some, invest some, wear some, eat some, and travel. With this issue with the coronavirus going around, I wouldn't suggest any international travel until this is resolved, because you don't know what is out there and how it will affect you. So I see some of you going back to school or learning something new or doing things in a different way that will enhance your employment, your success, and moving up the ladder and your career. Okay, now next, your solar sun is in the 10th house. So you're going to deal with institutions, which with the sun is in Pisces, that's behind the scenes. So it could be having something to do with healing, either emotional, basically emotional, because Pisces deals with feelings. So some of you need to go address some issues that you have, that you've been burdening yourself with, and go get a professional opinion or sit down and address it with someone who has no judgment upon it and will listen. Or if you can go to a very good friend. But the Pisces will deal with emotional issues. So the career change that you have to do is having to do with something emotional, something that you love doing, and something not just that you do for the money. So there's changes in your career, your employment and success. Some of you might be applying for a new job in the job you have, or some of you might be looking for a new job outside the job you have and taking some new certification, some new training, or taking going back to school for something that's going to enhance you with making more money. So right now you're focused on your career and yourself and things that you can have more money and live the best life that you want. Okay. Now, one of the stones which crystal stone that I'd like you to carry with you in the month of March to enhance this career option and employment and success and direction that you want to go in your career is called a carnelian. This is an orange stone, okay? And this is associated with the third, uh, the second chakra that has something to do with some of you might have some issues with your sex organs. It's not moving or you're not getting the sensation. So this is the stone that you can put in that area. You can heat it up and you can get some organic castor oil, lavender would be very good, and rub it in that area. And if anything's continue to persist, I would suggest you go and get a professional opinion with it. So it deals with your sex organs. Okay, so some of you are having issues with that, but this also stone will be good for you to carry with you to have you make a decision what career path that you want to go on, where you want your career to go in employment, and what training. So I see some of you might be taking a different direction in a career, or some of you might be working and doing a hobby that is now beginning to pay off, and it's going to help you a lot. So it's called a carnelian, and you need to use this for giving you the right direction and making the decisions in the month of March for your career. Now we're going to talk about where the planets are at. Okay, all right. Mercury, your ruling planet, is retrograding in Pisces. Okay, so when a planet is retrograding, the two key words is revisit, reschedule, rechange, review. Your intuition is high, so trust it, and your feelings. And Pisces represents the 12th house to deal with emotion. So there are people who will come back from the past where we need to address these issues with them to bring closure and to end these situations with them. So people from the past are contacting you and coming back, okay? Now, Mercury went into Pisces on February the 3rd, and it went retrograde on February the 17th, and will stay in Pisces until March the 4th. Then it will go into Aquarius, it's backtracking, and will stay there from March the 4th to the 16th. And it will go direct. Some information I read said it will go direct on this the 9th or the 10th. So if we can delay any signing of any papers or any major decision until after the 10th, that would be better for us. But if we have to do that, we have no choice, but we have to look at that in a positive way. Okay, we have Venus in Aries. Venus went in Aries on February the 7th, and will stay there to March the 4th. Venus is a feminine part of us. It deals with money, work, and possession. Venus represents, so Venus is in Aries. If you have your Venus in Aries or anything in Aries, and this is going to help you, okay? Because Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. It's initiation of this, the first sign. It started out and initiate things, and then it goes to Taurus and try to get the finances for it, and then it goes to Gemini where they would try to get the communication out. That's what they want to do with it. Now, when Mercury retrograde affects speaking, the shoulders, the lungs, the arms, the hand, and eye and hand coordination, and the nervous system and the brain. Okay, so think twice before you speak. Okay, and before you write, before you text. Okay, make any decisions. No decision. This is the time to research, investigate, and explore, and then you can gather all that information and come to a conclusion. Okay, don't be pressured into anything, Gemini. Because when you're pressuring things, you make a wrong decision. So, and I see some secret enemies here, which are involved with your career. As your solar sun is in your 10th house, while it is the sun in Pisces. So there's some secret enemies that's going to be exposed, that's been hidden. So a lot of things have been hidden behind the scenes. It's going to be brought forth. And so you're going to see who are these secret enemies. Okay, I see some of you might have problems with your eyes. That means you have that checked out, and your feet, because Pisces rules the feet and the eyes, and Capricorn, which is the 10th house, rules the hips and the thighs. So you might have some problems with that. So you need to do some yoga, some stretching to unhinge that tightness there. Okay, then we have Jupiter's in Capricorn. Jupiter's the ruling planet of Sagittarius, and Jupiter's in Capricorn. So this will influence new opportunities, abundance, blessings, wealth, truth, and karma. So this will influence this career change here. So there's going to be some new opportunities in career and employment. So it will influence that for Jupiter in Capricorn, because your solar house is in your 10th house, while the sun is in Pisces. So this is influencing this. So all earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, and opposite sign Pisces, Scorpio and Cancer will benefit from this. And if you have any planets in those houses, and any of the houses in your chart, this will help you too. Okay, then we have Mars in Capricorn. Mars is in Capricorn. It will be, it will be there from February 16th to March the 30th. So Mars is the masculine part. So you have that drive, that energy, that force that's pushing you, that raw energy to address anything that deals with your career, your employment, and success in moving up the ladder. Then we have Saturn in Capricorn. So Saturn represents structure. So the old structure, excuse me, Gemini, is gone. You're building yourself on a better structure. You're setting boundaries, okay? You're doing things right the first time, so you don't have to go back and correct it. So you're taking your time in doing these things, okay? Saturn also represents father time. You might have lost someone, a family member, a friend, or multiple friends or family members during the time that Saturn went into Capricorn in 2018, and will stay there too. It's a 2.5-year period, 18, 19, October. So remember, they're just going physical and spirit. They're still there because it's energy. So you can call upon them that they can assist you and help you in this area. Okay. Saturn also represents about growth, doing it the first time right, lessons to be learned. So you're looking at things in your career aspect that you've been making mistakes. So now you're correcting it. You're not doing those mistakes anymore. You're doing it right the first time. So things are going to influence. I also feel that some of you with a hobby, it's now beginning to expand and making more money too. And I'm going to go back to Venus and Aries. Okay, if you're in a relationship, Gemini, things will get better for you. That fire is lit. Okay, you're not looking at the past anymore. You're looking at the future, and you're coming together. You have compromised and made sacrifices and compromise to move this relationship forward. If you're not in a relationship, I see you focusing on yourself now, getting your career, your employment, and things in hands. But there's someone coming towards you that's going to assist you. It will start off as a friendship, but it will blossom in something new. This is someone you never dealt with before. They're different, but there's a fascination. There's support. There's sharing in this relationship with them. So get on out there, Gemini, and just do your normal things, because you're going to attract and bring in your soul seed or your twin flame. Okay, then we have Uranus and Taurus. So Uranus is the shock planet. It's a planet of upheaval, revolution, change, and new beginning. Will never be the same. So Uranus in the tarot represents the tower. So you wouldn't listen before, and now to change things. So the divine is coming in to give you a smack on the head, and it's going to wipe all the things that you want out of your way and bring in a new beginning. Okay? And this is going to affect money, work, and position. A new approach to the environment, clean up the land, the water, and diet change, and being more healthy, and getting our chemicals that the pharmaceutical that might be given to you to take. And then you have another problem, you go back and you do something else. And some of you might be in a relationship, a long distance relationships, and so this is going to come into being. This is going to be the normal thing. And some of you might be in a relationship with someone younger or older and younger. This is going to be the norm too. Now, Uranus went into Taurus on March the 6th, 2019. Will stay there to 2026. Okay, as your LGBTQ, you're going to get your rights. Well, they've been trying to dwindle away. It's going to be restored. Okay. And then we have Neptune in Pisces. This is, we're going to clean up the water. We're going to find ways of getting the trash out of the ocean, out of the lakes, the streams, and everything. We're going to purify things, okay? So again, Pisces represents the eyes. It represents your feet. Some of you might be having problems with your feet. Some of you might be having problems with allergies, and your eyes are watering a lot. And so you need to watch out for that and stay out of those environments. Then we have Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto will be there to 2024. Pluto represents transformation, death, and resurrection, rising from the ashes. Okay, there's some emotional issues that you are through with, and people and places that gave you these emotional anxiety. So you're through with that. So Pluto represents a transformation. And some of this stuff may go back to childhood, where you felt it was your fault that something was done to you, but it wasn't your fault. You was dealing with a damaged individual who this was done to them. So it could have been a spiritual abuse, emotional, physically, or sexually. But you're releasing and healing and forgiving. Okay, we have the north node of the moon in Gemini. So it's retrograding, and the key words of RE when I'm playing is retrograding: review, recheck, reschedule, and see what you miss and correct it. So it's the north node is in Gemini, so you got to communicate better. You have to learn to be more effective communicate. Say what you mean and mean what you say. You have to speak from the fifth chakra, which is your throat, which represents Taurus. Stop being a people pleaser. Speak your mind in a diplomatic way, not in an anger, okay? Because if you go to someone angry, they're going to react to you in anger, okay? But speak your truth, stop pleasing people, and be your authentic self. Okay, now I'm going to go to the tarot card of the month for Gemini. I see great changes happening here. I see new beginnings happening. I see a lot of financial blessings coming to Geminis. Okay, now the key card. This is the Scorpio card, and this represents death. It doesn't mean that someone is dying physically. It could be death. It means death of an emotional issue that you've been hanging on to. The past, let it go. Okay, it represents like the great Sphinx at Giza rising from the ashes, and a transformation. You are changing. You're getting away from it. So when a Scorpio ends something, it is dead. Okay, and it deals with secrets too. So let the secrets come out. You're not ashamed of them. Okay, so it's ending, a transformation, the new you rising from the ashes. Okay, now I'm going to have the karma cards. Now the karma cards are based on the houses of the zodiac, the signs, and the planets. Okay, so this is the house. So this is in the 6th house for you, Gemini. 6 is the house of Virgo, your fellow Mercury ruler. It deals with the house of health, work, and service to others. 6 also represents harmony in those areas and solutions to outstanding issues. Okay, the sign, Aquarius. So Aquarius is another fellow air sign. So change in groups, organizations, is a change in those for you. And it deals with also hopes, wishes, and friendships. And then in the planet, the North Node. And we just spoke of the North Node. The North Node represents what you need to achieve here in this lifetime. The South Node is what you brought from that previous lifetime. And sometimes it's comfortable going back to that, but you cannot go back to that and grow. You need to go into the North Node. And the North Node is in Gemini, and it represents communication effectively. Okay? So, spiritually, service to others. So, spiritually, this card represents that. No, I'm sorry, I got this wrong. I should have had it all up the same way. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Spiritually, you are here to be service to others. That is what the sixth house is. Health, work, and service to others. And in the sign of groups and organizations where your hopes and wishes and friendship will be bound and received. So it deals with geniuses to experiment with you. You have that geniuses in you, and you can experiment on anything you want. That's the sign. And the North Node of the Moon, there will be. Okay? Now, mentally, what is good? You need to find out what is good for you. Not for other people, what is good for you. And in the sign of Aquarius, then you would discover of success from it. When you find out what's good for you, then you would discover the success from it. Now, in the physical part, your work. Face the work that you're here to do. When you came into this planet, the path that the divine brought you here. And it has to do with groups and organizations that will bring your hopes and wishes and friendship. And it represents resulting from eccentricity. So even though that you're different, yes, you're different because you were made to be different. So you don't have to worry about being eccentric. This is you, and that's what you need to be, who you are. And then what the North Node would say, and that will benefit you and others. Okay? That is the physical part. So, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed your March monthly astrological crystal overview. Because I see great things happening for you in March. You're transforming to something new and better, and I love it because I'm a Gemini too. So you can reach me at readingsbyleonardtmunson.net. My email address, mercury524@msn.com. On my Facebook page, Readings by Leonard T. Munson. And I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn. Ciao. See you in April.